Pasadena, California, and I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year and introduce the rest of the seniors from this year's squad.
Charles White, tailback, senior from San Fernando, California.
Here, keep an eye out for number 77. He starts today.
And Anthony Munoz, senior offensive tackle from Tijuana, Mexico.
I'm a senior center. I'm from Boulder, Colorado. Brad Betty, offensive guard, senior for the University of Southern California. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, my name is Danny Garcia. I'm a senior wide receiver, and I was born in Seoul.
Raymond Butler, wide receiver, senior, hometown, Swinney, Texas.
My name is Myron Lapka. I'm a defensive tackle, senior year. My hometown is Chatsworth, California.
My name is Dennis Johnson. I'm a position inside linebacker. My years as a senior, hometown, Flint, Michigan.
My name is Larry McGrew. I'm an outside linebacker and senior. My hometown is Berkeley, California.
Ward, defensive back, senior, hometown, San Francisco, California.
My name is Rob Kerr. I'm a senior place kicker.
Oh, what a sight. 106,000, depending on what media and all the rest jammed into this. As we start a new sports decade, USC, Ohio State, the players will be entering the field in a moment.
They have a kicker with great range, but also who's been very consistent. And also in the punting department, I think they have the edge over Pryor. In fact, we have an interesting situation with two former top.
They should be on the field now, and they're not out. Maybe a little fight going on here.
Well, for whether or not the Buckeyes just lost communication time, and perhaps Earl Bruce, first-year coach for the Buckeyes, giving them a little added incentive verbally.
Able to cope with the pressure of this bowl game in Ohio State, but there comes the Ohio State Buckeye team. You can believe that they're about a mile off the turf out there right now, pumped up and ready to go. I think it was a little psyching going on. They wanted to get their little edge coming out of the tunnel.
Ohio State, Woody Hayes gone. Earl Bruce takes over from the man who got him through school at Ohio State. There he is, a 40-year-old Bruce who last coached at Iowa State. They started with a win against Syracuse, struggled to victory against Minnesota, beat Washington State, barely defeated UCLA, but that was the turning point in the season as they won here in Los Angeles on a 90-second drive of 80 yards. Then they rolled past Northwestern Indiana.
Home stadium plays on artificial turf. This is only the second game they've had all year on natural turf. And both of those games, by the way, they really struggled with.
That was Minnesota and UCLA. Frank Sinatra, the official coin flipper.
Heads he calls, and a head to this. You won the toss, you can take a good thing.
USC has won the toss. It looked as if they said they're going to take the goal rather than receive.
I think what Charles White said is we'll take the ball down on this end. I think he wanted both of them.
Here's a coin for both of the captains.
And
You'll have to
has
split
yet
it
to
up
give
some way.
semaphore into. Now it is. USC will receive to our left. And the Buckeyes of Ohio State will kick it off. All right, that means.
I think Ohio State realized they can't stand in with
Ohio State, USC, although Florida State, you'll see them later from the Orange Bowl. The 66th Rose Bowl game about to start as number 1, Bob Atha, approaches the ball and delivers it deep. It'll be Michael Hayes, a senior from San Diego, and he'll sit on it there. Trojans start at the 20-yard line.
Dick, one of the things we ought to look for early, if Ohio State is going to control that SC offense, they're going to have to do it with quickness rather than with strength.
Starting lineups. USC is the backfield run by Paul McDonald, an academic All-American. Marcus Allen, tough fullback, sophomore, and the Heisman winner Charles White at tailback. In motion comes the V-man, Rakshani. And it's White. First carry of the game, gets only a couple. A swarming Buckeye defense, spearheaded by Marcus Merrick, number 36. Keith Ferguson also in on the stop. In the line for the Buckeyes and the wide receivers for USC, Dan Garcia and Kevin Williams. Good speed, good hands on the outside, and Hobie Brenner, a tough big target at tight end. Rakshani is slotted left on 2nd and 8. White, 25, 30, and out of bounds with a first down at the 34-yard line. getting that student body right.
Yes, Dick, that's been a bread and butter play for SC over the years. They've run that play, incidentally, 106 times this year, and it's averaged 7.7 yards per carry.
Those are the offensive linemen for SC. Munoz on the weak side. If ever there was a misnomer, calling Anthony Munoz a weak tackle, that is a big, strong offensive line.
Foster, Flip, Buddy, and Van Horn, giants, average 6'5" in height, as you saw earlier. First down in USC. They actually spotted out of bounds at the 30. White, a tough runner. All the way to the 37-yard line, a gain of 7. A look at the Ohio State defense.
Sawicki in the center, Gary Doolin on the outside along with Jerome Foster. Linebackers, there'll be 4 of them. Ferguson and Laughlin on the outside, Merrick and Washington inside. And that fine secondary that O.J. talked about. Guess, Ellis, Skillings, who's the safety, and Bell, who's the rover. We haven't seen Bell making those big plays. They might have trouble here in the early going controlling SC.
2nd and 3, Marcus Allen with a handoff. The fullback breaking tackles all the way to the Ohio State 49. Allen, say, will be the heir apparent to Charles White's tailback slot. Not a bad running fullback.
One of the problems you have when you have a great back like Charles White in the backfield, you have your eyes on him. And what happens? They don't give the ball to him. They give it to Marcus Allen. And Allen showing his smoothness, tremendous acceleration, gets away from a second tackler. Big gain, first down.
Into Ohio State territory by USC. McDonald audibilizing at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to throw for the first time. Looking for Williams. Almost intercepted. It was intercepted by Ray Ellis, number 27. Ellis with a turnover. LOJ talked about that talented deep defense of Ohio State. Here it is.
Yes, as I said, each man back here has won at least, was voted all Big Ten on at least one poll. As you can see them, they're very quick. They're all excellent athletes. I don't think it was a well-thrown pass. It looked like it was behind him. It looked like he was running out and ready to go up again, and Ellis played it real well.
Watch the quick ball read here as Ellis comes under the receiver, taps it, and then picks it up. He only has to have 1 foot in. He had it comfortably. Here they go.
From the 40-yard line, Schleister on first down throws it intercepted by Herb Ward of USC. Oh, my. Turnabout is fair play. Now the football gets hot in the first 2 minutes in the Rose Bowl. Back-to-back interceptions, and we have a timeout in Pasadena. Just a minute, 51 seconds into the first quarter. It's Ohio State nothing, USC nothing. The Trojans have the ball at midfield. No score, less than 2 minutes played in this first quarter, and here's that interception of Schleister.
You look for the early advantage for the turnover. You get it, and what happens? You turn it right back. Herb Ward, number 23, steps in front of Donnelly, the intended receiver. I think Schleister tried to stick that into a defense that was well covered. The result, obviously, an interception. SC has another chance with the football.
It's interesting that both Schleister and McDonald were intercepted but 5 times all year, but they're each picked off in the first 2 minutes today. Rakshani, part tight end, part wide receiver in motion, and it's Charles White getting only a couple of yards before bumped out of bounds at the Ohio State sidelines at the 49. Credit Merrick, a freshman. Ohio State linebacker trying to follow on the traditions of the Cousineaus and Gradishars, Stan White, Rick Middleton at Ohio State.
I think we're going to see a lot of people on those tackles. It's going to be hard to call. White cutting to the outside. The great way to stop it back is to force him to run laterally and count the number of people in on that tackle. Great team speed and great team hustle. There were 9 Ohio Buckeyes around that football, and half of them on top of White.
Second down and 7. In motion is White. McDonald looks off, has a man open. Kevin Williams, first down at the 33. Todd Bell made the tackle. McDonald has his first completion.
Kevin Williams has tremendous speed. He's a 9'3" sprinter, but his greatest asset is his quickness. McDonald under pressure, obviously to his secondary receiver, gets the ball up. Williams had cut back and forced Bell so far off the ball that he had no chance to get back, even though the ball hung momentarily. Fine play, first down, they're penetrating deeper.
Deepest penetration of the game at the 33. No score, 12:55 left in the first quarter. Alabama has won against Arkansas. McDonald Complete. Dan Garcia to the 14-yard line. Make that Raymond Butler. Butler, 86. From Brazoria, Texas. He rooms with Garcia. Caught 21 passes on the season.
Let's take a look at Paul McDonald, quarterback. Not even a fake for the run here. Just steps back, has plenty of time to throw the football. The break is there. Good job of running the pattern, finding the open area. Butler is down to about the 15-yard line.
They mark it at the 14, first down USC. It's White sweeping right with blockers. 10. And down to the 7-yard line goes White from San Fernando High School. He said that Anthony Davis was like a brother to me, and it was indeed in this game as a freshman that Charles White became nationally known, and they certainly followed through, didn't he, O.J.?
Yeah, he did a super job. He came in, the Michigan team had shook up Ricky Bell. Charles came in, and he rushed for, I think, 126 yards and was really the key to the game, the key to the victory, a 14-6 victory by USC.
I think everyone thought when Bell came out, hey, we got him now. And they said, who is that? Who is that?
They found out, didn't they? 2nd and 3, Rakshani in motion. Sometimes he'll stop and go back the other way. White up the middle, crunched at the 6-yard line, close to the 5. He'll be short of the first down by a long yard. 3rd down for John Robinson's USC Trojans. Robinson, after 4 years, 3 Rose Bowls, his teams have lost only 6 times in 4 years.
You know, I like the fact that John Robinson came back throwing the football after Paul McDonald threw that interception. They were running the ball real well, but when your quarterback throws an interception, you want him to have that confidence that he came back throwing the ball, and I think he'll be throwing all day. I think he'll be confident in that.
3rd and call it 2. There's Rakshani reversing back. And now he's the extra blocker. White into the teeth of the Buckeye defense, and I'm not sure that he made that at all. They put up a good wall for him.
I think he's short of it. It's going to be close, but he's about a yard short. They're going to have a decision to make here. Let's look at the charge, the line charge. They're trying to bury them there on the line of scrimmage. White coming to the outside. Excellent play by the short yardage defense of Ohio State. That's Mark Sullivan, just a freshman in there, doing a great job. He's actually a sophomore, getting underneath that stack, making the first hit on Charles White, and they're going to go for it. 4th and about a yard.
Not going for the field goal. John Robinson goes for the first down at the 4.5. It's McDonald, play action. Incomplete, and what a job by Ohio State. Mike Guess broke up the pass in the end zone.
There's one of your guys, O.J., Mike Guess, 3 times an all-Big Ten performer. And I don't think I've ever seen a better reaction, ball reaction, by a quarterback in my life. Watch this. He stops and comes back, twists his body in the air, and absolutely snatched that ball away from the receiver.
Vic Rakshani thought he had a touchdown. Instead, it's Ohio State's ball at the 5-yard line. Timeout, 10:22 left. First quarter, no score. Now the Buckeyes have stopped USC twice on this play in the end zone. Mike Guess, number 12 of the Buckeyes.
Marcus Merrick, number 36, forces a quarterback early, does not let him have time to roll it out of there. But the great play by Guess, reacting to that ball, pulling it back.
On first down, Calvin Murray vaulting out to about the 8, maybe the 9-yard line. Larry McGrew, 57, outside linebacker for the Trojans, made the stop.
We talked about games being won or lost on the line of scrimmage. Number 96, Myron Lapka, taking on the block right there on the line of scrimmage. Gets a good piece of the ball carrier. Hit him right on the line. Forward motion carried him for a small gain.
McGrew, 57, and Ricky Gray, 35, also a piece of the action. Spotted at the 8-yard line. 2nd down, 6. Schleister to Campbell, the fullback, and he gets nowhere into the middle of that SC defense. Ty Sperling spearheaded the charge, number 63. The offense for the Buckeyes. Sensational sophomore Schleister at quarterback. Paul Campbell, a senior, and Calvin Murray, a junior, the running backs. Gary Williams, Doug Donnelly, they both can fly, and Brad Dwelly, an outstanding freshman tight end.
One of the most experienced offensive lines in football. A couple of 3 fifth-year seniors, Burke, Andrea, and Waugh, And Fritz on the other side, their captain. Lucan's a freshman. He's the youngest and maybe the best of that whole offensive line.
Fritz, an All-American choice. Schleister on 3rd and 5 in trouble. And down he goes at the 10-yard line. Chased by Myron Lapka, the senior from Chatsworth, California, number 96.
Let's talk for a second about that gamble. Going for the points, going for the 7. Would they have been better off taking a 3?
Well, you know, normally you would say yes, but I think they are aware that Alabama won the game, and I think they're playing. They want to win the game. Both teams do. They want to win decisively. They know what a national championship does for their recruiting, and I think when you got a Heisman Trophy winner in the backfield, you got 2 plays to get 1 yard. I think it's a good gamble.
Well, on that last play, they gambled again with the run of Schleister. They're stopped. They're going to kick it away.
Tom Morris from Fairport Harbor, Ohio. Good punter. From his own goal line, he sends a beauty. Taken by Butler, and he is tripped up at the 45-yard line. Fumbled, but after he hit the deck. So a good kick by Morris from his goal line, and USC will begin from its own 44-yard line. Butler, number 3 in the nation in punt returns this year. 8 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first quarter. SC, Ohio State, no score. And USC, they played nearly 7 minutes, no score. But without a score, we've had plenty of action. A couple of interceptions. USC gambles and fails from the 4.5 of the Buckeyes.
That's Bill Miles, the coach of the tackles and the tight ends, showing some of the blocking schemes. They'll be adjusting those throughout the game, trying to get the edge on SC.
USC with its wide receivers to the left. Rakshani, the V man they call him, in the slot, and Charles White breaks a tackle and gains 3 more than Ohio State thought he would get. It'll be 2nd down and 6 as White now has rushed for 6,020 yards in his fabulous career.
And we've talked about number 68, Sawicki. He's slanting there to the outside. That's Buddy, who just tackles him and puts him on the ground. Somehow I don't think that's a legal block, but you can see the effectiveness of a big man, and Buddy has about 40 pounds and 3 inches on Sawicki.
McDonald to throw, under pressure, dumps it off to Allen, 45-40. He's to the Ohio State 38-yard line. Vince Skillings, not very big, 176 pounds. 48 of the Buckeyes put a mean hit on Allen to stop him cold.
Yeah, but if you saw Charles White on that play, they had a blitz on, and Charles White, I didn't know he can block. I mean, he really waxed the guy who came in there.
There's something else we saw there, and that's the ability of McDonald to be cool under pressure. He had a tremendous rush on him, still found the open man. He does that perhaps better than any college quarterback in America.
2 tight ends and Rakshani in motion. So this is the run formation. Now they call that the zap when he reverses his field. And White up the middle. Big yardage to the 31 of the Buckeyes. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Rakshani, just to give you the terminology, they call it zip when Rakshani starts in motion, runs all the way to the other side. Zap when he stops at the center position, comes back, and then they have a zoom that we haven't seen yet where he starts, goes past the center, and then will block upfield off tackle. That's like pulling a guard and giving him a running start at the snap.
You have to keep your wax out of your ears in that huddle. You get in trouble.
Zip, zap, zoom. Rakshani is slotted left. 2nd and 3 play. White, 1st down as he skids to the 25-yard line. White is an interesting story on him. All of the athletes at USC undergo the immersion test. It's a test to measure the body fat. Ricky Bell was measured at about 3%, incredibly low. That was the all-time low at the Institute. This year, this young man, Charles White, 1.8% body fat. I mean, he is all muscle. You drop him in the lake and he couldn't swim if he had a motor on his back.
But we can't swim anyway.
Rakshani in motion on 1st down. Oh, Michael Hayes came in for that carry and was greeted rudely by number 5, Jim Laughlin, the spirit of the Ohio State defense. Foster in on the play as well.
We talked about stunning and slanting. Watch number 55. Foster pops through the gap here, and he's going to be the first man to meet him right there with the help of the fine linebacker Jim Laughlin. That's the kind of quick, aggressive play that Ohio State is going to need today to shut down that SC offense.
Laughlin 5 named most valuable player by his own teammates. He made the big plays early in the season. They've kept Ohio State off to the great start and then on to the unbeaten year. Second down 13. Pass formation, but they run it with Hayes up the middle on a quick hitter to the 24-yard line, which will bring up 3rd and 8 for USC. White back into the game. Hayes goes out.
One of the dangers of doing all that stunting and slanting is that you may open up the wrong hole. And certainly you can make the big plays. You've got to be very careful and get some compensating rushes by people all across the line. It's a defense that must be very well coordinated. So far, they haven't been hit for the big one.
They spot it at the 25, so it's 3rd and 9. That's Kevin Williams, the flyer to the left. Garcia split wide right. And White is in motion. McDonald on a draw to Allen, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. Fooled everyone but one of the Buckeyes, and Merlin Olsen. That's Todd Bell, 25. That was your strength as a Ram. They rarely could draw past you.
A little draw play here, and they almost had him. Had Todd Bell missed this tackle, he would have had the first down and maybe more. You see the dive at him right there. But number 25, Todd Bell, who's a linebacker, not a linebacker, almost up in the linebacker's position. He's the rover, of course, and SC was concerned about him. They knew he was going to be lined up different positions today.
I'm sure on that play that he was assigned to the fullback, Marcus Allen, and he was standing there waiting for him. SC has really been taking advantage.
That's right. We don't want to interrupt you except to say that we have a commercial message, and we'll finish that thought in a moment, O.J. Eric Kipp apparently will try for a USC field goal when we return, a scoreless tie. Rose Bowl on a glorious day on this January 1st, 1980. USA will try for the field goal. It'll be a 41-yard attempt by Eric Kipp out of the hold of Scott Tinsley.
Kipp has plenty of range, but a little inconsistent in his field goal this year.
It's high enough and long enough. It's good. Eric Kipp, who made but 5 of 13 on the year. His longest was 45 to beat California. That one good from 41. And USC takes the early lead. 4:37 left in the first quarter. Reminder, folks, as these 1980s begin, and what a great sports year 1980 will be. NBC starts its 3rd season of Sports World. That'll be Sunday, January 13th. Since its creation, we're proud that Sports World has brought you exciting and innovative coverage of American and international competition. We've investigated into the controversial and often misunderstood side of sports in our sports journal. We've had a lot of fun, too. Different and outrageous displays on the crazy world of sport. And we'll continue to bring you all this and more in the coming year on Sports World as we kick off the 1980s, January 13th, right here on NBC.
Just a question for you, O.J. Do you think it's more important in an emotional game like this to put points on the board first? Or is that a great advantage to you?
Yes, I certainly think it is. I think SC is lucky to get that score when they didn't score the first time, because the momentum changed so quick in a game like this. You got to take advantage of every good field position you have.
Tim Spencer takes a kickoff to the 20, and he's out to the 24-yard line. The Buckeye people feel he's a star of the future, Tim Spencer. McDonald, 58, made the tackle for USC.
We talk about the sprinters who come down as headhunters. Number 58, Mike McDonald, one of the finest for SC. You can see him turning it on here, getting an eye on that ball carrier, and there it is, right there on Tim Spencer, and a lot of help to follow.
USC has dominated this first quarter in possession, over 8 minutes to Ohio State's 2 minutes. That's Calvin Murray finds a crack in that SC defense and charges to the 30. It'll be 2nd and a short 5 for the Buckeyes. A look at the USC defensive alignment.
We haven't had a chance to set the defensive line. You saw Lepka earlier. Sperling on the nose. Dennis Edwards at the other tackle position. Linebackers, there's some quick ones. Larry McGrew, the strongest. Chip Banks may get much better than McGrew as he gets older. And Herb Ward, you saw him with the interception. Lott, Smith, Browner. Browner just a freshman. He's in there because of an injury, an ankle injury that forced Lott to move to corner.
Jeff Fisher not seeing starting duty. Leister has running room, 30, 35. And he's out to the 39-yard line. Eric Scoggins, 81, made the tackle. That will be the Buckeyes' initial first down of this game.
Yeah, Schleister came out that time to throw, actually. It looks like he wants to throw more than run. SC's defensive strategy is on option plays is to force him to run the football. They don't want him to pitch it. They want him to carry it himself. They like to rough him up a little bit, but I know they don't want this to happen. They don't want him to drop back to pass and then scramble for the yardage that he's getting.
Well, the big advantage he has is the fact that he can run, and it opened up. He got the first down.
Wanted to clarify, when you mean rough it up, you don't mean to do anything illegal, but this is a game of contact, and they're going to say, if you want to run out here, number 10, then you're going to have to pay the price.
On all levels of football.
Dumps it off to Volley. A juggling catch. Did he come up with it? He certainly volleyed it. USC. Number 56, Dennis Johnson, wound up with a football. What's the call? Ohio State?
No, Dick, I think it's going to be a joint reception, in which case they'll give the ball to the offense. But let's look at it here. Schleister put the pass right on target. Volley bounces it 4 or 5 times. Finally does get a hold of it right there, and they both had it at the same time. The ball was on the ground. I'm sure that's what they're calling. Let's watch the receiver now and watch how many times he bats it in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, they both have it together. Dennis Johnson pulled it away and came up with it.
Well, a man named Volley certainly did it. And it's second down and 5. Up the middle to the 45-yard line and short of the first down. Ricky Gray made the stop on Calvin Murray. Third down 4, Ohio State. USC has the lead, 3-0. Final minutes of this first quarter in the Rose Bowl game. John Robinson, 44 years young. Guys are kidding him about the press guy says that 4 years ago a young John Robinson at 40 came to USC, and they say, yeah, young now going on 60. Schleister play action, looking deep. He has Williams open. Gary Williams to the 2-yard line. What a throw by Schleister. He caught Williams on the dead run, and it's time for the Buckeyes to celebrate.
It's a 53-yard pass play. Schleister to Gary Williams. Shows you the power that this young man has in his passing arm. Watching him practice, he has a powerful rifle right there. You can't throw a better pass than that. And then Williams runs out of the first tackle. Herb Ward, number 23, there to save him. Bulldogs him down, but they're right on the 2-yard line, itching to get that 7 points in the lead.
First and goal for the Buckeyes. Schleister keeps it and is stopped just shy of the goal line. Ricky Gray, 35, 51. Chip Banks with a shoulder, as Ohio State is less than a yard from a go-ahead score.
Schleister is amazing to me. He reminds me of Terry Bradshaw. A defensive back can get no read on him. He doesn't have to really set up to throw. He throws with all arm. That time he never stepped up to throw the ball. He put it 53 yards in the air on the money, standing virtually flat-footed, all arm.
Interesting point, gentlemen. USC has not given up a touchdown in the first quarter all year. Ohio State trying to do something 11 other tough opponents could not. Give it to Murray. And they spot it outside the goal line. He did not get in. And was there ever a vicious hit made down in the depths of that SC defense?
Go down in the pits. You talk about line surge, and this is where some of that physical strength is going to come into play for SC. Big number 78, Georgia Chica, I think is the guy. And Ricky Gray, number 35, the man who polished it off. Eric Scroggins, 81. That's great goal line defense.
You know that Gray is tough. He had a knee injury in the first quarter of last year's Rose Bowl game, played the whole game, made 15 tackles, and required knee surgery after the game. He refused to admit he was hurt, played the whole game on a very serious injury.
And I thought for a minute SC was going to keep that not being scored upon in the first quarter record intact with 7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ohio State called the timeout.
I think it was more out of confusion than wanting to score in this first quarter, but the Buckeyes have spent a timeout with the ball about a foot from the goal line.
We talked about the emotional aspects of the game, of getting on the scoreboard first. I think one of the most draining things that can happen to a team is to get great field position, to get a big play like that, go down to the 2-yard line, 1.5-yard line, and then get shut out with a play like we've seen on the goal line here.
I tell you, Maryland, in the the 67 Rose Bowl. We were playing against Indiana here, and we went right down the field and scored. We had them 7-0. We went right down the field the next time, and they stopped us on the 4-yard line. We had a fumble, and we didn't score again until late in the fourth quarter. We went into the fourth quarter up 7-3, and had to score late in the fourth quarter to finally win the game.
Well, Ryder, our old friend, is here, the Goodyear blimp, to bring us a spectacular aerial shots from the Rose Bowl. Good to have you aboard, and Happy New Year. We hope it was a good year for us all. 3rd and goal, Ohio State trailing USC 3-0, possibly the last play of the first quarter. Donnelly in motion. Inside the handoff. No. Ricky Gray. What a play by Gray, 35. Paul Campbell stopped cold, and that Gray, a sophomore from Tucson, Arizona, has made 2 plays back-to-back. The end of the first quarter of the 66th Rose Bowl game. Ohio State faces 4th and less than a yard when we return. The score after 15 minutes, USC 3, Ohio State 0. The Trojan horse, and those 11 defensive men have played with that kind of strength. 4th and goal for Ohio State, less than a yard away. As you look at the first half statistics, USC has stopped Ohio State from the 2-yard line on the first 3 tries. 4th and goal. This is it for the Buckeyes. 3-0 USC. Schleister keeps it, and he doesn't make it. The Trojans stop him. Charge of USC as they stop Ohio State 4 tries from the 2-yard line.
What a brilliant goal line stand by the SC defense. And that's the kind of football, the kind of emotional football that will inspire the rest of the team. Watch Dennis Smith right there, 49, 35 Gray, 42 Lott. But the whole team is just firing out. You don't think they're excited?
There he comes, cuts inside. It was Dennis Johnson who really made the initial hit. Credit Johnson, the All-American inside linebacker. Here comes White to the 3-yard line. Stopped goal by Jerome Foster, number 55. That was a remarkable goal line stand, gentlemen. That was 3 cracks from inside the 1, and they didn't make it.
I tell you, emotionally, it's got to be disheartening to Ohio State. It's certainly a lift to the SC defense. They feel now that they can stop them no matter what.
Don't you think, O.J., that lifts the offense, too, when they see their defense perform that way?
Yeah, I think the offense may be a little tired. They've had 2 long drives and only got 3 points. But it certainly is going to affect SC's defense. I think they have all the confidence in the world right now.
Here's White again. Finds a hole and gets out to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line, and that looks to be good enough for the first down. Remarkable first quarter. We did not see a penalty.
Let's look at the hole that opens up here for Charles White. And again, I think the physical size and strength of SC's offensive and defensive lines is becoming very apparent here in the early going. Charles White getting a nice gain, hole open for him, but it's that initial surge at the line of scrimmage, and it's very tough to play against a man who's taller and bigger than you are. You just can't see where that back is going.
Well, we said they were going to work on Sawicki in the middle, try to muscle him, and they've been getting away with it.
Notice Sawicki's not playing on the nose anymore. White dumped at the 10-yard line.
Bill.
He is all over the field, Bell, and of course that's appropriate to the name Rover. Let's talk about Bell a moment, number 25 for Ohio State. He's an interesting young man. He's from Middletown, Ohio. That was the same city that produced Jerry Lucas. Butch Carter, now the Indiana basketball star. Bell in high school long jump 24 feet 6 3/4 inches. That's a great high school jump, but more importantly, it broke a record set in 1933 in Ohio by Jesse Owens. And he is all over the field with 9.7 speed and a hitter today. 2nd and 12. White doesn't get the ball. The handoff is to Marcus Allen, 33. And Allen is out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Ray Ellis made the stop short of the first down. 3rd down 3.
Marcus Allen doing a good job of adjusting. There was no hole in the middle. O.J., question for you. And I've always felt that the running ability of a back depended a lot of times on his vision, his ability to see out of the corner of his eyes.
Yes, I agree with that totally. You know, you have to have that good peripheral vision. I felt the biggest handicap I had as a runner in the last few years is I lost a line of vision in my left eye, and I felt that handicapped me more than anything. As we see Kevin Williams there's missed on a flat pass. He was open. He should have gotten the ball. Should have been able to. Paul should have been able to get the ball to him, and he just missed it.
But look who was covering him. Todd Bell, 25. So one moment he's making a tackle on one side of the field, to the other side to defense against the pass. And in comes the kicking team for USC. David Pryor, number 17. He also won a national punt, pass, and kick contest. Average here of 36 yards per punt. Mike Guess, number 12, deep for the Buckeyes at the Ohio State 45. No pressure. Beautiful kick. Perfect spiral. Chases Guess to the 30-yard line. 35, 36, and that's all. Don Jones, number 11, made the tackle for USC. Timeout early in the second quarter in Pasadena. 12:54 remaining in this quarter. The Trojans of USC lead Ohio State 3-0. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen, O.J. Simpson at the famed Rose Bowl in Pasadena. 12 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Southern California Trojans leading Ohio State's Buckeyes 3-0. Ohio State ball at the Buck 35-yard line. Art Schleister, comparison of his statistics the last 2 years. Look at the increase in touchdowns and decrease in interceptions. And he has a man open. Donnelly, his favorite target. He's a junior from Cambridge, Ohio. Joey Browner, that name sounds familiar. Browner, 47, wearing the same number. Well, it's because he comes from a very, very talented football family that includes Outland Trophy winner Ross Browner at Notre Dame, Jim Browner, Willard Browner, and there are two more Browners coming. They say are better than the rest.
Quick replay as you watch Schleister. Well, we don't have time for it. Yes, we do. There's Schleister back. Hits his favorite target, Donnelly. And again, a fine pass thrown very effectively.
First down play, the draw, and it doesn't work as Calvin Murray trapped in the backfield and finally dropped by Chip Banks, number 51, a sophomore from Augusta, Georgia.
Dick, one of the things that interested me in talking to Art Schleister about his preparation, he said before his freshman year in the summertime, he would throw the ball 500 times a day, 6 days a week to strengthen that arm. And this last year, between the seasons, he threw 400 to 500 times a day, but only 5 days a week. It's no wonder he has a powerful arm.
Another thing, they say that if he ever hurt the right arm or was trapped held by the right arm, he can throw the ball 50 yards left-handed. He's a natural lefty. Jack Armstrong, second down and 12, and Schleister rolling and looking. He threw that one away, but he had a man close. It was obvious what he did. He had Williams close to the ball, close enough that you can't call intentional grounding. But he was doing exactly that. He grounded it right at Williams' feet.
As you watch Schleister moving back to the huddle, you see all those Buckleys on the side of his helmet. Those are for big plays, and that's exactly what he is. He is a big playmaker, and there is an art to throwing the football away. A quarterback who knows how to do it does not get caught that often. Again, you watch the rollout, the running ability, too. You see him fire the ball away, but he's looking right into the eyes of that receiver. Larry McGrew, 57, locked up on him. No penalty.
Back to the live action. Schleister down the middle. Complete. It's Ty Hicks. He fumbles, and USC has recovered at the 33-yard line. Ronnie Lott, 42 with the ball.
It's a shame because it was a beautiful pass by Schleister. I think today we may see a Big Ten attempt record, at least an Ohio State attempt record. I think they've realized now, especially after that goal line stand, that they're not going to get too much running the ball on USC, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Schleister break a number of passing, at least attempt records today.
Well, he'd like to break the completion records, but he'd like his receivers to hang on to the football. A fine hit by number 42, Ronnie Lott, really took that ball away from Ty Hicks. SC's offense on the field.
At the 33 of the Trojans, SC leading 3-0. 11:36 remaining in the first half here at Pasadena. White, running room, here he comes, and wrecked by Ray Ellis, 27, as he was starting to make a move to the outside. Mike Guess also in on the tackle for Ohio State.
Let's try and get an idea of why there is so much room. I know there was a great block thrown in there by Foot on the linebacker Marcus Merrick, but a tremendous amount of room for White. Let's look from the end zone. This will give us an idea. There's Doolin being knocked inside. Merrick overran the play, and White just did the rest on his own. Big gain.
Back to the action, and a stop at the 40-yard line as Marcus Allen gets that quick handoff from McDonald and goes nowhere. It'll be second down. Make it third down now on the no gain, and about a yard and a half for USC at the Trojan 42-yard line. You see Paul Hackett in the yellow shirt signaling the offensive plays to Schleister. Basically, they sent out a couple of plays at a time, or check that to McDonald, and McDonald then has the option of audibleizing. He can call really anything he wants, and bright enough to do it well. White to the 45 and a first down. Picked his hole and got the yardage he needed for the first down.
We talked early in the telecast about the physical superiority of that SC offensive line, and watch them here as they make room for their Heisman Trophy winning tailback. Plenty of room for the first down. Rakshani even adds to it as he comes in as that B-back, although he got stuck pretty good on the line of scrimmage, but it is a first down.
USC with the lead, 3-0 at its own 45-yard line. Michael Hayes in the game, takes the fake. McDonald throws it, incomplete. Marcus Allen, the intended target, but he was well covered as Todd Bell was over there again, and he had help from Al Washington. Washington, number 15, was from Cleveland, Ohio, and his teammates have been kidding him about his joy of being on the West Coast. They've already nicknamed him Hollywood Washington. We told him the story about Billy Wells, the old pony backfield of Michigan State a few years ago, when he infatuated with this climate, wanted a date with an actress. I can't remember, was it Debbie Reynolds, someone? And finally got that date, and he said, well, listen, you just tell Pam Grier that I'm ready anytime she wants to call me. McDonald to White. Solid tackle. There he is, Al Washington on cue.
You know, I've noticed one thing. Every time SC put Rakshani or any of their tight ends in motion, they run the football. I think pretty soon now we should look for them to pass on that.
Well, they try and set people up. Certainly one of the things that both teams have had is a tremendous amount of time to prepare for this game, and you've got to believe there are some tricks rolled up in those sleeves.
Kevin Williams is flanked to the left. Michael Hayes in for White. Dan Garcia split right. 3rd and 8 from the 47. Good protection, and going long for Kevin Williams. Touchdown. Paul McDonald waiting to the last moment. Threw that ball about 60 yards in the air, and Kevin Williams, the touchdown maker, has another. His 21st as a Trojan.
You take a 9'3" sprinter and you add to it a quarterback who not only can read the receivers but fire the ball deep. You give him a little bit of room and it's all over. Ray Ellis, number 27, trying desperately, actually got a hold of him near the goal line, but too late. 6 points on the board, going for a 7th and a big early lead here in the Rose Bowl.
53 yards, the touchdown throw, and Hip will try to tack on the extra point. He's got it. McDonald to Williams. Williams, who was a high school teammate of Charles White. San Fernando was well blessed. So USC with 9 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first half now leads Ohio State 10-0.
Interesting aspect that O.J. touched on with this Ohio State team. This is an unusual team. They have the capability to come back. They have the ability to hurt you with the big play. Schleister, as we've seen, can throw the ball effectively. He can roll out of there. He can take what looks to be a certain loss and make it into a gain. And that's something that Big Ten teams, especially Ohio State, have not had in the past, and it's important when you're down.
I tell you what, we are aware of it in this area in Southern California. They start the season out here against UCLA early in the year, and they made a great fourth quarter comeback, and believe me, SC is aware of that. Last year against Michigan, I saw them sit on the lead. This year, I think they'll keep trying to score. They know they can come back on it.
10-0. Donnelly in motion. Nothing there at all for Calvin Murray as Myron Lapka greeted the junior from Woodbine, New Jersey, to the Pasadena Climbs.
We talked to Myron Lapka before the game. I said, are you excited? He said, yeah. He said, I missed the first one. I redshirted. Last year I had mononucleosis. I didn't know it. And this year I feel great. He looks great as he puts the tack on Murphy right there.
Second down, 9 at the 21 for the Buckeyes. As Williams and Donnelly Both with great speed are wide left. Tight end big run Barwig. 6'8" target. Schleister looking. Down the middle. There's Donley. First down at the 46 of Ohio State. Donley with those quick feet. His actions remind me a lot of Steve Largent, the way he makes his cuts off moving feet.
I'll tell you someone else that has quick feet, and that's Schleister. Schleister is not that fast in the open field, but he sets up quickly and watch the ball. So perfectly thrown, and it had to be right on target, or it might have been intercepted, could not have been caught. Big play. That's the kind of big plays that you come back with.
So far, Ohio State unable to move on the ground, but Schleister has thrown it well, and but for a drop pass, a fumble deep in SC territory, Ohio State might be in the lead at this point. Rick Volley, short yardage, close to midfield. Volley, senior from Lynchburg, Virginia. It'll be second down for the Buckeyes and 7.
I think the real difference in this game so far is down on the line of scrimmage. And I think it's in the physical superiority of the offensive and defensive fronts of these SC offensive defensive team. You've seen them run the ball effectively. Ohio State has not run it effectively. They've thrown it effectively. That's been their weakness so far in this game.
Donley in motion. 2nd and 6. Big hole, but short yardage as it closed in a hurry on Calvin Murray. Dennis Johnson, 6'4" senior, who migrated west from Clinton, Michigan. Won All-America honors on the UPI ballot this year. 3rd and 3 for Ohio State. Tim Spencer, number 46, comes in from the Buckeye sidelines, and Murray goes out. Paul Campbell out for rest is back in for the Buckeyes.
You see Coach Hackett talking to Kevin and McDonald. I think they beat him bad now on the bomb. And I think you'll see him running a lot of stop patterns, a lot of hook patterns now. They got him respecting the deep threat.
SC defense digs in. There's Spencer, the youngster, with the first down, all the way to the 39-yard line before Joey Browner can make the tackle. Spencer, a high school All-American from St. Clairsville, Ohio. He admires Earl Campbell, he says. And well,
I do too.
The world does, and I suppose there's a certain team in the Steel City that admires him so much they hope that he has an extended vacation early in this year. And we should say, on behalf of our colleague O.J. Simpson, it must have been heartwarming for you to look through that Ohio State book and see how many players said the player they admired most was O.J. Simpson. There's Paul Campbell fighting forward. Tripp stayed on his feet to the 35-yard line.
All of a sudden, after talking about the lack of a running game, Ohio State has started to run the ball. I think they got the advantage on that last play, not this last one you saw, the one ahead of that where they got the first down, of some anticipation. I think SC anticipated the pass. They played pass all the way, and they got burned. The Ohio State line doing a good job of blocking on that last play. Now you have a chance to do anything you want. You got a second, 6.5 yards to go.
Ty Hicks, the fastest Buckeye in motion, and the pitches this way to Calvin Murray. Caught by an ankle, struggles to the 31. That'll be short of the first down by a long yard. Larry McGrew, a tight grasp of the leg of Calvin Murray. Well, the key to this game thus far has been Ohio State unable to score on 1st and goal from the 2 and 3 shots from inside the 1 as SC's defense with a masterful goal line stand. Then USC came back after the fumble recovery on a completed pass to hit on the bomb. It's 10-0 SC, 5 minutes left in the first half. Short yardage play, and Murray is cut down and fumbles. USC, they say the ball was down. The runner was down, the ball dead, and Ohio State will maintain possession. But Dennis Smith, number 49, shot up from the secondary to make that tackle on Murray to stop him far short of the first down.
Even on the tough plays, there are some great things happening. Number 22, volley right there on Dennis Johnson, just knocked him clear off the line of scrimmage. Had it not been for that great play by Dennis Smith, you wouldn't have been able to stop him behind that line. Watch volley. Watch this block. That's as fine a block as you'll see. That's an All-American linebacker, and he's got a lot of poundage on volley. That's a big, big hit.
2-yard loss, though, and it's 4th and 3 as Schleister has the first down. Donley, 20-yard line. So it's Schleister to Donley again. Browner made the tackle. White Lightning has another reception.
the big play capability of Schleister, taking what looked to be an impossible situation there. He was getting pressure, got out to the outside, a little extra time, and Donnelly in isolation here knows how to find the open territory. Very quick feet and sure hands, soft hands. First down, a chance now to get it down closer to the end zone.
10-0 USC, first down from the 20. Campbell hit hard by Ronnie Lott. Spencer rather hit hard by Ronnie Lott after a gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. They feel that Lott will be the next defensive All-American for USC. From Pasadena, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WTWO, Terre Haute.
The 66th Rose Bowl game in Pasadena, California. 3.5 minutes remain in the first half. USC with a field goal and a long touchdown bomb. McConnell to Williams leads 10-0, but Ohio State has the ball. Second down and 8 at the 18 of Southern California. Schleister to throw. Incomplete. Dwelly, the tight end, a freshman from Sandusky, trying to make that fingertip catch. So Schleister kept it away from the defense. Almost a perfect throw, and he had very little room in which to fire that one.
I tell you, the way the game's going, this is the best field position they can have, because it's tougher to throw the ball, as Maryland can tell you, the closer you get to the end zone. They haven't had much success running the ball down there close, so as strange as it may sound, the best point on the field for their offense to be is right around the 20. They got good room to throw the ball, and because they've had so much problem running the ball, I don't think they want to get first in anything inside the 10.
I'm sure something sticking in the back of their minds right now is how tough they had at getting it in from the 1-yard line.
USC has called a timeout. 3rd and 8 Ohio State at the Trojan 18-yard line. When we come back, 3:19 left, first half. Ohio State trying to get on the board. Yeah, that promises to be another exciting. Already has been. We'll be turning out. A week from Sunday, we'll be on the campus of Purdue University. Syracuse at Purdue, and it all starts Saturday and Sunday, beginning this coming Saturday.
Got 3 wide receivers.
3rd down 8 for Schleister. Incomplete to Ty Hicks. Not quite enough time. Hicks was open deep as he slipped around Jeff Fisher, number 40. But it appears the Buckeyes will bring on the field goal unit.
Ty Hicks is the fastest man on this Buckeye squad. He's working on a man with an injured ankle, and he actually has him beaten. But that delay in getting around cost him a chance at the football.
So it'll be Vlade Anakievsky from Columbus, Ohio. He has set the Ohio State records for scoring and in field goals. Heisman Trophy balloting, and Schleister right there with Paul McConnell to finish 6th. Anakievsky, a 35-yard attempt. Castagnola, backup quarterback, does a good job of saving it. High enough, long enough, and Ohio State has scored. Anakievsky missed only 3 of 18 all year. He comes through on his first opportunity today. Timeout. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first half. USC's lead is cut to 10-3. Bob Atha tees it up at the 40 for Ohio State. Michael Hayes, Raymond Butler deep for USC. 10-3, the Trojans lead at 3 minutes left in the half. Good kick. Butler at the goal line. The 10. Down at the 15. Slip trying to make the cut, but good coverage nevertheless by the Buckeyes. Number 14, Brian Schwartz, is from Simi Valley, California, nearby. 10-3 USC in this Rose Bowl Classic. Elsewhere on this January 1st. At the Cotton Bowl, it was 17-14. Houston beat Nebraska.
Let's look at Glenn Cobb, number 35. We talked about headhunters earlier. You see him going right over the top of one of the Trojans. He won't give him a chance. Hitting right in there, actually stacking up the wedge. And it was a slip, I think, more than anything, that stopped that run back.
Flag is down, and we may have had contact by Tim Sawicki, number 68, as he lurched forward. He may have hit one of the SC offensive linemen. Yes. 5 yards against Ohio State. First penalty of the game.
And it's an easy one, too. Sawicki excited. He wants to get a piece of that center, and did, unfortunately, a little too early.
Well, he had to take advantage of that quickness. I don't think he really wants too much of a piece of him. I think he realized he's being outweighed. If he can't out-quick him, he has no chance.
You know, Chris Wood was married, I guess, in this last year, and they said it's the biggest wedding they've ever seen because all of the offensive linemen of USC were part of the wedding entourage. A big wedding. Rakshani on that zap action, and here comes Charles White. It's about 4 to the 24 and stops the clock with 3:02 left in the half.
Very important right here for Ohio State's defense to get things stopped, to take that football away. Their offense able to move the ball successfully down the field and get some points on the board. Now they'd like to get a turnover. They'd like to stop SC, force them to punt right here, or even better, get a turnover, get some points on the board themselves.
Second down and call it 2, a short 2. Allen in fullback, White the tailback. Kevin Williams flank to the right. White stopped, but I believe he has the first down. It's going to be close, shy of the 26-yard line. Number 65, Keith Ferguson, with a tackle. Speaking of Charles White, let's look at the Heisman balloting once again. Well, you're going to see Mr. Billy Sims in Oklahoma on the Orange Bowl that will follow this telecast.
2 interesting things I see there, Dick. 3 of the top 6 college players in the country in this game. And Schleister's 4th place finish, the highest ever for a sophomore.
Vegas Ferguson and Notre Dame in that 3rd spot. Raymond Butler with Williams in the slot. A lot of speed wide right for McDonald. On first down, he keeps it on the ground to Marcus Allen. Marcus Merrick of Ohio State made the tackle.
Dick, I alluded to the fact earlier that it's tough to play against people who are taller and bigger than you are in that defensive line. The thing that happens to you is that they get locked up on you, and you really can't see where the ball carrier is. A guy goes by you, you don't know whether he's got the ball or not. And a lot of times when they're using a dive action with one man carrying the ball and another man coming off the other side, you almost have to take the first guy and tackle him. They did it right there. Unfortunately, he didn't have the ball and made some good yardage.
2nd and 6. White again. Tremendously quick start of his. He's short of the first down by a yard. Well, let's take it to the other side then, O.J. It is true then that backs hide behind their blockers and then see that opening and try to put on that extra step. That you do try to shield yourself visually from the defense as well as physically.
Yeah, that's part of it. The best thing about having those huge offensive linemen is the defensive back is coming up worrying about that pulling guard. I think I used to love Reggie McKenzie because he was 6'4" and had a lot of speed, and those defensive backs are worried about him, and they're not looking at me.
3rd and 1. Clock running down to 1:30 left in the half. SC improving its field position. And White has another first down and more. Breaks it free. 45-50. And now he has blockers. Fumbles. And Ohio State recovers. Todd Bell made the tackle. Jim Laughlin recovered the fumble. But it was Bell hustling out of nowhere. Caught White and forced the fumble from behind.
Dick, Sawicki had left the ball game with an injury. They'd put a man in his place, and they came right at, I think it was Mark Sullivan in there. Marcus Merrick had a shot at White, but what a tremendous play. Todd Bell has been the man of the hour for this OSU defense. Watch it right there. Chops the ball out of White's hand, and Laughlin, number 5, their MVP, there to pick it up.
So Todd Bell denies USC, and White a long game toward a possible added score. And with 1:18 left in this first half, it's Ohio State with the football, trailing the Trojans 10-3. Charles White rips off a 45-yard run. Appeared he may go for a touchdown, but Todd Bell not only saved the touchdown with his tackle, but turned it over. And Ohio State with the football at its 19-yard line with 1:18 left in the half. And Schleister going to put it up again. Incomplete. Well covered was his intended target. We have a flag down, and apparently we're going to have a penalty against Ricky Gray of USC. Calvin Murray was the intended receiver.
You still cannot bump that receiver before the ball arrives. And Schleister, I think, held on to that ball a little longer than he was supposed to. The pattern was there. Ricky Gray, anticipating the pass, moved in to make the interception, knock it away.
Let's go back to the play made by Todd Bell, and you describe it for us, O.J.
He's out in the open. He has a guy to his left that he's trying to outrun. He doesn't even see Bell at all. Bell does a great job of stripping the ball. When he went up there too, making fumbles, too stripping of the ball. Now he had Rakshani behind him, and Rakshani Well, let's go back to the action here.
Schleister wrapped up at the 20-yard line, couldn't unload as Charles Ussery from Long Beach, California. That is a deputy police chief, and he put the shackles on Schleister. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Oh, Jay, that's some kind of speed from Bell to run White down in the open field and knock that ball out of his hands.
Yes, it is, because White has very good speed. He's not a track man. I think Bell has some track
9.7 speed. And he was the man who broke Jesse Owens' long jump record. He can go.
Super athlete.
A big play here. 2nd, about 13, 14 yards to go.
Yeah, they're going to play it safe now with time running out. Although Murray breaks out of the pack and is out of bounds out at the 34-yard line, close to the first down. Stops the clock with exactly 30 seconds left in this first half. Just to quickly summarize for you, USC had the best early opportunity. On 4th and 1 inside the Ohio State 5, they went for it, did not go for the field goal, and Ohio State stopped them. And eventually Eric Kipp connected on a 41-yard field goal to make it 3-0. Ohio State came back in a 53-yard pass play from Schleister to Williams, had 1st and goal at the 2 of SC, and SC stopped them on a marvelous goal line stand. And then a 53-yard touchdown pass, McDonald to Kevin Williams.